When I accepted to co-arrange this hearing on the burqa today, it's for the following reason. I have no idea what to think about a ban on the burqa. On the one hand, as a liberal, it's very difficult for me to understand why I should meddle with what kind of clothes other people wear, what religion they choose, and how they observe their religion. But on the other hand, it is true that in far too many cases the burqa hides a view of oppressing women, and that goes against all that I hold dear about equality. And fighting for equality is certainly a worthwhile fight. And I think that being able to engage in a debate without prejudices is very important. We have not been able to achieve that in my country, in Denmark. The only conclusion we've reached in Denmark is that, well, there aren't that many people that actually wear the burqa, and therefore it's not really an issue. So the quantitative argument won over the qualitative argument. And also in Denmark, the debate about the burqa immediately becomes a debate about whether you're racist or not and whether you're left or right wing. Whereas if you look at the debate in Southern Europe, you find many people were very active among liberals and people on the left who are at the forefront of trying to achieve a ban. And this really indicates that this is a debate that goes far beyond for or against minorities, for or against one religion or another. Sadly, in Denmark, so far, we've only been able to achieve knee-jerk reactions. We also saw this that when the proud Danish independent newspaper on September 8, 2005 printed some satirical drawings of the Prophet Muhammad. It didn't really stir a lot of debate initially. Most people just shrugged and that was it. Until suddenly somebody realized that they could be used to fundraise for Islamic Faith Society and show them in a series of countries to see that, just to demonstrate that Islam is being oppressed in Denmark. And that's what stirred all the trouble. I remember that my initial reaction to these drawings was, well, okay, that's a bit of an unnecessary provocation, but then I forgot about it. But you can bet that I had to think about it after that. And I was not alone. What I didn't realize initially was that the newspaper Jyllands-Posten chose to print these drawings, or I couldn't understand why they'd chosen to do so. And that is why my reaction was, this is unnecessary provocation, because I hadn't realized that people who wanted to write about Muhammad in a book, for example, or could not illustrate the book, because that would actually put them in danger. They'd risk their lives by doing so. So society has to react by setting an example, being bold, and doing away with censorship. And the man who dared to do so was the cultural editor of Jyllands-Posten, Fleming. Now, I haven't, been cultivating idols, because I always think that actually leads to hysteria. But if you ask me to point to a person that deserves my utmost respect, it's Flemming Rohde, who's here with me. He stood up, not because he had been threatened himself, but because others had been threatened. And he chose to fight for values, whereas others just decided to stand idly by and live it and just not obtain problems. He stood up and he had to face opinion makers, business community, politicians, and he had to face their wrath. They directed their anger towards him rather than towards those who want to undermine what we hold most dearest in Denmark, which is freedom, including the freedom of speech. A lot have happened since then. But the question is whether the debate about censorship has risen to a higher level before or after these drawings. And the question is whether we have now reached a level at which we can debate values beyond just knee-jerk reactions.